Hello, I'm so glad you're back. Today, we are going to start a special series, a journey full of emotions and depth, on a topic that will surely touch your heart. What happens on the first day after you die? This is a question that many people may have asked themselves, and today we will explore the thoughts, feelings, and experiences that the soul might face after leaving the body. Along with faith in God and healing through meditation, we will explore this transition not as an end, but as a new beginning. Get ready for a journey full of mystery, emotion, and depth to experience the peace that God grants to the soul after death. 2. The first moment, leaving the body. When death comes, everything suddenly becomes still, gentle, as if you are falling into an invisible space, no longer burdened by the worries of the material world. The first moment after the soul leaves the body is the moment when you will experience absolute freedom. There is no more physical pain, no more stress, no more responsibilities that you must bear. You are being freed from all the constraints of the body, and at that moment, you will feel an oddly serene and light sensation. In this moment, there is no anxiety, no fear, only absolute peace. You do not feel panic or fear. Instead, there is a sense of peace coming from within. This is the moment when your soul will clearly feel the presence of God. All worries, pain, and unease gradually fade away. Just as the Lord has taught, I am the light. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness. At this moment, the light of God will shine upon your soul, guiding you out of the darkness of worry and physical pain to step into a completely new world, a space of peace and tranquility. You will feel yourself gently rising, no longer feeling the weight, no longer bound by the body. Everything around you becomes blurry. Space and time seem to lose their clarity, leaving only the feeling of lightness and serenity. This transition is not something to fear, but rather an illumination, a step into the open door of healing and unconditional peace. You will no longer feel lonely or lost, because God is always there, waiting to welcome you, like a father opening his arms to welcome back his child who has been away. Your soul will not feel strange in this space, even though the surrounding space may be unfamiliar. Your feeling will not be one of fear, but a deep understanding of the presence of God. You no longer need to carry any worries, no longer need to worry about unfinished things or unresolved relationships. You will feel God's unconditional love, His embrace helping you understand that everything has been completed according to His plan. And now, your soul is being received into the peaceful place He has prepared. In this moment, not only will you feel peace, but you will also begin to realize something deeper, that death is not an end, but a transition, a new beginning. From the moment your soul leaves the body, you will be guided into a space where everything is in harmony, a place without division, without conflict, only God's eternal love. This is the moment when you understand that death is just a transition from one form of life to another. And in that transition, you will experience absolute peace. Your soul no longer needs to worry about the past. There is no more sense of regret or remorse. God has forgiven you and granted you absolute freedom. You will feel lightness in your heart, as if all sins and mistakes have been completely washed away. And now, only love and forgiveness remain. This is not a miracle, but a profound truth in the spiritual journey of every person. Death is not a punishment, but a liberation, the beginning of a new journey, one in which you live in peace, love, and the presence of God. With firm faith in God, your soul will realize that you are never alone. You do not face uncertainty or the unknown future, but you are embraced in His unconditional love. At this point, all fears, doubts, and negative emotions will be completely released. You no longer need to seek comfort from external things, as comfort comes from within, from God's love, from the understanding that He is always there, always protecting and guiding you. God has said in the Bible, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not scorch you." This is His promise to your soul in this moment, as you leave the body and enter the new world. He is always with you, bringing absolute peace, removing all fears, helping you realize that death is just a transition, a step into a new life, full of love and unconditional healing. 3. The journey through the gates of heaven, the call of peace. When the soul leaves the body and steps into the first moment of freedom, you no longer feel the physical pain and exhaustion. Everything around you seems to fall into silence, as if all the sounds of the material world have completely vanished. In this peaceful space, you begin to notice a miraculous light, not too bright, but carrying a profound sense of peace, like an invitation from another world, a place where all worries and all pain no longer exist. This light is the presence of God, the doorway to an invisible world, where your soul is guided to a space full of love, protection, and peace. This is not a distant place, but an invisible space that you have always been drawn to, a place where God's healing and absolute peace await you. You can feel the warmth of this light, as if it envelops you, dispelling all darkness, all doubts or fears. In this moment, there is no distance between you and God. Every barrier between your soul and His presence vanishes. It feels like a lost child being returned to the loving arms of the Father, as if He has been waiting for you for a long time. This peace, this serenity, is not something you can find anywhere on earth. It is a peace that surpasses all human understanding, the endless comfort that only God can bring. God is not only guiding you at this moment, but He is the one who has prepared for you a place of eternal peace, a space where you will never feel alone or lacking. It is a place where you will be embraced by unconditional love, a love not limited by time or space. Your soul is soothed and healed in His presence, as if all the worries and pain throughout your life have been taken by God, allowing you to enter a new world without carrying any burdens. As you pass through the gates of heaven, you do not feel strange or fearful. Everything feels strangely familiar, as if you have known this place for a long time. You do not need time to get acquainted, because this is the place your soul has belonged to for a long time, the place you have prepared to return to when physical life ends. Everything in this world radiates serenity, like open doors, welcoming you into a peaceful place where you can find the healing you have sought throughout your life. As you move through the gates of heaven, everything around you seems unimportant. This space is not a place with shapes or structures like the material world, but an invisible space filled with light and peace. The sense of time also gradually fades away. You no longer feel caught up in worries or bound by time. All that remains is an eternal moment with no end, no worries about the future. In this space, your soul will feel absolute understanding, as if all the feelings, all the sadness, all the worries you carried during your earthly life have been understood and received. There is no judgment, no stigma or discrimination, only the forgiveness and unconditional love of God. The physical pain, the struggles of life seem meaningless because you have found the absolute peace that God has reserved for you. God is not only the one who guides you, but He is also the one who protects and supports you. With each step you take, you will feel His shelter and comfort, as if He is walking with you, leading you into a world full of life, love, and healing. Every soul is embraced in this love and peace, where no fear or pain can exist. The presence of God in this moment brings you an indescribable feeling. You no longer feel you must do anything or become anyone. You simply need to be yourself, the soul that is complete, surrounded by His eternal love. This is the moment when you can feel absolute freedom, absolute peace, with no attachment to anything of the world. When you pass through that gate, you will not only receive peace, but also realize that death is not an end, but a transition, a step into a new life, where you will forever live in God's love and protection. The peace of God is not silence, but a vibrancy full of light and hope. It is in this light that you will find peace, and no fear or worry can ever shake you. 4. The silent road. Stepping through darkness and light. After passing through the gates of heaven, your soul begins a journey into a completely new space where there is no darkness or fear. However, throughout this journey, there is still a period where your soul must go through a phase of silence, a transition between darkness and light. This is a special moment when the soul gradually merges into the invisible world, where God's presence will guide you step by step. In the first moment, you won't feel a clear sense of the space around you. Everything seems to blend together, with no clear distinction between darkness and light, only an encompassing stillness. Nothing interferes, nothing disturbs you in this space. This feeling is difficult to describe. It's like being lost in an enormous space where everything passes by without a beginning or end, only eternal existence. Although this is a moment full of silence, your soul does not feel confused or lost. On the contrary, you will feel a warm, steady presence. That is God's guidance. God here is not in the form of a human, but as an invisible source of light, encompassing and leading you with each step. At this moment, you don't need to see the path because you know that God is always by your side, guiding you into a new space of peace. We cannot avoid a little darkness when stepping into a new world, but this darkness is not fear. It is temporary, a transition, a moment for your soul to let go of the bindings, the past wounds, and prepare for the full reception of God's light. In this darkness, your soul is gently soothed, purified from all pain, all anxieties that have followed you throughout your earthly life. Faith in God is now the light that shines for your soul. You don't need to look for light anywhere else, because God is that light. When you step into darkness, His light will come, helping you realize that everything happens for a reason. Every difficulty will pass, and all pain will be healed. Your soul will feel absolute comfort, the peace that God has prepared for you. In this moment, you will see that darkness is not something to fear. It is just temporary, like a resting time between two stages, where your soul prepares to fully integrate into a new world, a world without fear, without worry. This darkness is also the moment you face yourself, the wounds, the old injuries, and prepare to move beyond them gently. It is the time when your soul learns to forgive itself and others, to let go of the negative emotions you have carried throughout your life. It is in the darkness that your soul also realizes that God's presence never leaves you. He is always there, with you, in every moment, whether you see Him or not. God is not a distant figure, but an invisible presence, an endless love surrounding you. You will feel Him in every step, in every breath, in each gentle sensation, as your soul gradually merges into this invisible world. As the darkness fades, you will begin to feel the light. Not the light from the material world, but the invisible light from God. A light that brings healing and absolute peace. This light is not the glaring light you might think of, but a warmth, a gentle warmth, like an invitation from God, inviting you to step into a space of love and forgiveness. Entering this light, your soul will realize that you have shed all the worries, the pain of the world. You no longer feel lonely or lost. God's love and forgiveness surround you like a warm blanket, dispelling all loneliness and fear. This light not only illuminates the path ahead, but also helps you look back at the steps of the past so you can see everything in life through the lens of love. Your soul will feel absolute freedom, freedom from all guilt, worry, and attachment to the past. In this light, you understand that everything happens for a reason, and the challenges in your life were just lessons to help you grow and draw closer to God. You no longer feel weighed down by old burdens, but instead feel light, like a free bird soaring into the endless space of love and peace. As your soul continues this journey, you will realize that light is not just a state of space, but an eternal feeling that God brings to you. It is His presence in every moment, His comfort in difficult times, and His absolute protection in every step of your soul's journey. You will feel embraced by a space where there is no worry, only love and boundless peace. 5. The first encounter, meeting the departed souls. As your soul continues its journey, the space around you becomes more expansive, the light gentler yet stronger. And in this moment, you will feel a miraculous presence, as though someone is waiting for you. These are the departed souls, loved ones, friends you once knew, and even souls you may not have been aware of who have gone before you on this journey. They are present in this eternal space, not to make you feel unfamiliar or fearful, but to greet you with open arms, like long-lost friends, like beloved ones waiting for you to come home. This encounter is not a reunion full of turmoil or complexity. It is a warm meeting with no distinctions, no words, only a deep recognition from each soul. As you approach, you do not need to exchange words. The connection between you and the departed souls is one of love and empathy, as if everyone understands each other without the need to say a word. You will feel the unconditional love they have for you, and you will realize that they too have experienced emotions just like you. They have loved, they have lived, and they have left their bodies, now walking with you on this path in the eternal peace of God. The loved ones who passed before you appear in a form free from any traces of pain or illness. They no longer carry the marks of earthly life, but instead they are bright souls radiating peaceful energy and indescribable lightness. You will feel comfort and solace in this encounter. Feelings of regret, anxiety, or sorrow no longer exist. They come to you as though they themselves are welcoming you home, to a place where all pain has dissolved, to a place where healing is inevitable. Though there are no words, you will understand that this is a moment of reconciliation. Unresolved misunderstandings from the past, unspoken words, relationships that were never healed, are all erased in this instant. Your soul no longer feels hurt, but rather a sense of harmony, as if everything has been accepted and forgiven. This feeling is like finding a long-lost friend, where all past unhappiness is left behind, and only empathy and boundless love remain. Through the presence of the departed souls, you realize that death is not the end of everything. It is simply a transition, a continuation of life in a different form. The departed souls are not just ghosts, but friends, loved ones, those who lived alongside you and are now guiding you on this journey. They are present to remind you that everything happens for a reason, that you are never alone on this path. God has prepared a place filled with love, where you can reconnect with your loved ones and feel absolute comfort. Your soul will feel peace in this encounter, and you will realize that all feelings of guilt, regret, or sorrow no longer exist here. The departed souls do not look upon you with judgment, but with love, empathy, and understanding. We, whether living or departed, are all parts of a greater whole, and all are united by God's love. This not only allows your soul to feel liberation, but also helps you understand that death is not a punishment, but a release, a return to God. In this space, you will also notice that everything around you is silent, yet there is no lack of life. Each soul here is not just a part of the past, but also a part of the present and future. For all is a continuation in God's love and peace. There is no pain, no separation, only an invisible bond that you can feel with your heart, with your soul. This is a truly miraculous space, where every soul understands that they are in God's loving embrace. You will not feel surprised or confused during this encounter. Instead, you will feel familiarity, a harmony that you have never known throughout your earthly life. The love in this space has no boundaries, no time, no distinctions. Every soul lives in eternal peace, where all feelings of pain and sorrow are washed away in God's light. When meeting the departed souls, you understand that this love does not only exist in the material world, but is a part of the invisible universe, a part of the divine connection that God has created. This is not just a meeting, but a welcoming, a return home, where you realize that nothing has been lost, only connection and endless healing. The departed souls are not just part of the past, but companions on your next journey, bringing you warmth, comfort, and absolute protection in God's invisible light. 6. Feeling the presence of God, immersing in unconditional love. As you step through the doors of the invisible world, a miraculous sensation will rise within your soul. The departed souls have welcomed you, and you feel their presence, but more importantly, you will feel an unmistakable presence, one filled with love and absolute peace. That is God in this space. You no longer feel the sense of time or space as you did before. Everything seems to merge together, leaving only pure love and His absolute embrace. God does not need to say anything because His presence is enough. You will feel waves of love from Him, like gentle waves caressing a quiet beach. Each step your soul takes is not just a transition, but a return home. You know you have been received, loved unconditionally. In this moment, all worries, fears, or feelings of insecurity vanish. You no longer feel the need to seek love, for God is that love, covering you, healing you, and giving your soul complete relaxation. God's love is unconditional, without discrimination. You don't need to do anything to be worthy. You don't need to achieve anything special. You only need to be yourself, a soul that is complete in God's eyes. He loves you not for what you've done or haven't done, but because you are His child, because you are a part of the infinite love He has for all. This is a love that does not change, that is not affected by time or actions. It is perfect love, one that every soul can deeply feel when entering this space. God is not only present with you in moments of hardship, but He is always there, walking with you through each step, through every moment of your journey. His presence in this moment is not something distant or abstract. It is a very real, very close presence, surrounding you with love and absolute care. You don't need to do anything to deserve it, for this love has been in you since before you were born. In this sacred moment, as you immerse yourself in God's unconditional love, you realize that you will never face life's challenges alone. Everything happens for a reason. Every challenge has a purpose, and God is always with you, supporting you, guiding you. You no longer feel lonely, no longer lost. God's love is not just a covering, but healing. He heals the deep wounds in your soul, the pains you have carried throughout your life. When you feel God's unconditional love, you will realize that nothing can separate you from Him. All wounds, all pain, all fear are no more. What you once had to endure in life seems to have been erased, and you feel light, free. You can feel every cell in your body coming back to life, being healed, and your soul seems to shine brightly in God's love and peace. This space is not a foreign place. It is a place you feel deeply familiar with. This is where you truly belong, where you are loved and protected, where everything you have sought on earth is fulfilled. God's presence in this space is absolute protection, boundless peace. There is no sense of lack, no anxiety, no unfinished things, only wholeness and tranquility. God is not just a guide, but a loving Father, always present and protecting you from all suffering. You will not feel you need to prove yourself or strive to gain acceptance, because in the light of God's love, you have been accepted the moment you entered this space. You are His child, and He loves you unconditionally, without distinction, without calculation. God does not love you for what you do, but loves you for who you are, a pure soul, an indispensable part of His creation. In God's presence, all worries, all feelings of lack disappear. You no longer need to seek anything more, because you have everything you need in God's endless love. It is this love that is the light guiding your soul, helping you understand that you are never alone, you are never lacking. In God's love, you are part of the eternal universe, part of immortal life, where peace is the ultimate truth. God's presence is not something distant or hard to comprehend. It is a real love, right here, right now, surrounding you and making your soul whole. You don't need to do anything to deserve this love. You only need to be yourself. And in that unconditional love, you will find the peace you have always desired, a peace that will never be separated from you throughout this journey. 7. Exploring the afterlife, miraculous sights. As your soul continues its journey through the invisible space, a miraculous world slowly unfolds before your eyes, not in the way you once imagined, but as a serene space filled with light and love. This is not a strange place, but a world full of life, without distinction, without pain or fear, only absolute peace and a perfect connection with everything around you. Your soul is not only healed, but expanded, merging into a vast space where all sensations become clear and pure. This world is not a place that you can easily describe with simple words. It is unlike anything you have ever seen in life. The surroundings are not the familiar things of the earth, but a recreation of every beauty of life, a beauty that transcends the limits of the material world. The colors in this world are not the colors you can see with the human eye, but incredibly vibrant, transparent, and sparkling hues, like the light of the universe. The trees are not merely living entities, but symbols of eternal life. The petals of flowers do not just bloom to adorn the scene, but radiate an invisible energy, a vitality that you can feel with your very soul. The streams are not just flowing water, but the coolness, the purity of an unending flow that brings refreshment and healing to every soul. These streams are not just water, but life itself, the integration of everything you have experienced in life. All around you, the clouds gently drift, not the ordinary clouds you are familiar with, but clouds that contain absolute peace, a purity beyond words. As you walk through this space, you don't feel tired, nor do you feel the need to rest. Everything is renewed, reborn in God's unconditional love. This is a world without limits, without end, only the continuity of love, healing, and absolute tranquility. The afterlife is not a space divided, but a wonderful harmony between everything, between your soul, other souls, and the presence of God. You don't feel lost. On the contrary, you feel a powerful connection with everything around you. Every soul you encounter is not a stranger, but a part of a greater whole, where everything is interconnected, every feeling is shared, and there is a perfect resonance. God is not just the one guiding you through these miraculous scenes. He is the creator of them, the one who brings life to everything in this world. Every object, every scene, every sound, every gesture in this world bears the mark of God's love and creativity. Therefore, you do not just see the scenery. You feel the life in every petal, in every ripple of water, in every beam of light. Everything has a profound meaning, a message about the connection between all things and God's eternal presence. The sights in this world are not what you have seen on earth, but they are exactly what your soul has always sought: serenity, absolute harmony, and healing from God. These sights not only astonish you, but they make you realize that this is where you belong, where you were always meant to return after a long journey. Your feeling is not one of searching, but one of recognition. You have come home, back to love, to peace, and to the absolute harmony of God. In this space, you no longer feel the need to seek anything. Everything is already here. The souls you meet, the sights you see, the emotions you experience are all part of your eternal journey. This is a world without distinction, where every soul is equal, loved, and embraced in God's unconditional love. Every moment in this world brings profound healing. All pain, all worries, all uncertainties of life dissolve in the stillness and the all-encompassing love. You no longer feel fear or loneliness. Everything becomes complete. Healing is not only happening in your soul, but also in every cell, in every breath, in every moment you feel God's presence. Everything in this world, whether it is scenery or people, is a form of the infinite love that God has given. 8. The road to revisit the past. Confronting unfinished business, As your soul continues its journey through the eternal space, you will enter a special phase, a phase where the past seems to appear before you, not with regret or worry, but with deep contemplation and love. In this invisible space, you no longer carry the negative emotions you once felt on earth. All the wounds, the shortcomings, and the unfinished decisions in your life no longer feel like burdens. Instead, they become opportunities for your soul to reflect on the steps you've taken, the valuable lessons you have learned from earthly life. This is a journey where your soul no longer faces feelings of guilt or remorse. You will not feel judgment or punishment from God, but instead, you will experience a profound understanding that every decision, every action in life has its own purpose and meaning. God is not a judge, but a being of love, and in this moment, He will help you see everything through absolute compassion. Every mistake is soothed, every fault forgiven, and your soul will feel peace when facing the unfinished things in life. As you reflect on the unfinished business from your past, you will realize that in each mistake or difficult choice, you have learned something precious, a lesson about love, forgiveness, and patience. Each experience, whether happy or sad, is a part of your soul's growth process. God will help you understand that what you have not yet done, what remains unfinished, is not failure, but a part of your spiritual journey. The forgiveness God offers you will help you see that nothing is meaningless. Nothing is entirely wrong. Everything has meaning in His eyes. In this space, you will not feel judged. God does not offer harsh judgment, but a loving perspective that helps you understand that every step in life has its own purpose, and no matter what you have done, you are still His child. God will not see you through your mistakes, but through His unconditional love. You will not suffer reproach or regret for what has passed. Instead, you will feel healing from Him, from the wounds you have carried within your heart. This is the moment to forgive yourself. All feelings of guilt or regret for things left undone will gradually dissolve. You will understand that in God's love and forgiveness, you do not have to be perfect to be loved. You do not need to complete everything to feel worthy. God's love is unconditional, and He is always ready to forgive, heal, and welcome you home. Your soul will feel relief as you face the unfinished parts of your life, the decisions left unmade, the words unsaid, the opportunities missed. All are no longer burdens. Each of them is simply a part of the journey of becoming whole that you have experienced. God will help you realize that everything is perfect in His arrangement, and your soul will no longer worry about what has not been done, because in God's love, all will be healed, all will be renewed in His unconditional light. The important thing is that you will not feel lost as you look back at the past, you will realize that everything has a reason, a deeper purpose that you may not have seen while living. The unfinished business, the opportunities that passed by, all are necessary steps for you to grow so that you can enter this space where you will find healing, peace, and complete fulfillment. The difficult experiences in life have prepared you for this moment where you are embraced in God's unconditional love and forgiveness. Your soul will no longer feel guilt or regret for what has been left undone. Instead, you will feel lightness and forgiveness. The forgiveness God offers you is a priceless gift, freeing you from all the burdens of the past, helping you enter this world with an open heart and absolute peace. You will realize that there is nothing more you need to do. In God's boundless love, you are perfect just as you are. 9. Inner peace, healing from old wounds. As your soul continues its journey through the eternal realm, you will begin to feel a miraculous change within yourself. Peace is not just a temporary feeling, but a deep, everlasting state where all old wounds are healed. In this space, there is no sadness, regret, or remorse, only completeness, absolute peace, and liberation from all the burdens of the earthly world. Your soul will be led into a space where every wound, whether physical or emotional, is healed gently and tenderly. God, with His unconditional love, has prepared a place of healing for you. No longer will you have to endure the painful feelings of past wounds. All pain seems to be soothed in a moment, as if you are enveloped by eternal comfort, fully supported and protected. God is not only the one who guides you, but also the one who heals. And the healing He offers is a deep connection with your heart. Every old wound, sorrow from losses, pain from separations, hurt from mistakes or betrayals, all gradually dissolve in His love and forgiveness. You no longer have to carry the scars of the past, because in God's presence, you are made completely new. Your soul is not only healed from physical pain, but also from deep emotional wounds. Throughout earthly life, we carry guilt, anger, pain from wrong decisions, words left unspoken, and actions left unfinished. However, when you step into this space, those negative emotions no longer have dominion over you. You will feel absolute forgiveness from God, a forgiveness not only from Him, but also from yourself. In His love, you realize that your mistakes are not final points, but lessons that help you grow and become closer to Him. Healing is not a swift or easy process. It is not an instant removal of negative feelings, but a gradual transformation. In this peaceful space, your soul is slowly healed, and the wounds of the heart are enveloped in God's love, helping you gradually release the pain you've carried throughout your life. You do not need to do anything to deserve this healing. You only need to open your heart and accept the unconditional love God has for you. As you feel the healing from your old wounds, you will realize that there is no separation between you and God. His love for you is limitless and not constrained by time or space. In this healing, you understand that nothing in your life is meaningless. Every challenge, every difficulty you have faced was a necessary step to bring you here, to a place filled with peace, healing, and completeness. The old wounds your soul carries are no longer burdens, but signs of your growth. You will no longer feel like a victim of life or the challenges you faced. Instead, you will realize that every wound, every trial, is part of the healing journey God has prepared for you. God not only helps you overcome the pain, but also helps you see the value in every suffering, in every loss. These wounds are the lessons that make your soul stronger and more resilient. As you continue your journey in this space, you will feel a complete integration with the peace and love of God. Every wound, whether old or unresolved pain, will be miraculously cleansed and healed. You will no longer need to carry these wounds. In God's unconditional love, you will feel reborn, completely renewed, and your soul will be expanded to embrace eternal life, free from division, free from pain. This is the healing you have always sought, not in the world, but in God's love. The peace you feel in this moment is not absolute silence, but a vibrant, loving life. You no longer feel trapped in the wounds of the past. You are free, completely healed, and merged into the eternal peace of God. In this space, no pain can exist. All wounds, all worries vanish, leaving only love and absolute healing. 10. A challenging journey, examining the decisions in life. As your soul continues its journey on the eternal path, you will enter another phase of self-awareness and growth. This is not a harsh test or a painful judgment, but a moment to reflect on the important decisions you made in life, the choices that shaped the path you walked. Yet, in this space, all feelings of judgment do not exist. You will not be measured or evaluated by worldly standards, but by God's infinite love and understanding. Your soul will be invited to look back on all the choices in your life, not to feel regret or disappointment, but to understand that each decision, whether big or small, has its own meaning and value. Every choice you made was a step in the journey toward understanding and inner peace. Your decisions were not just based on logic, but also the result of emotions, life lessons you have experienced, mistakes, imperfect choices. All of them have a reason, and you will not feel guilt or regret about them but only feel forgiveness and peace within yourself. In this space, you will not be judged. You will not face punishment or retribution for the imperfect choices you made in the past. Instead, you will feel a deep understanding of the nature of those decisions. Every decision is part of your growth process, and every step you took in life brought you closer to the truth of who you are and to the unconditional love God has for you. It is in this understanding that you will feel liberated from all worries and imperfections. You will realize that the difficult decisions in life, even though they may have made you uncomfortable at times, were actually opportunities for you to learn and grow. God never demands perfection from you. He loves you for who you are, with all your weaknesses, mistakes, and your unceasing efforts to live a meaningful life. Every moment in your life, whether beautiful or full of challenges, has a deep purpose, and you will realize that nothing is random. Everything is part of the wonderful plan God has for you. Your soul will gradually understand that this challenge is not meant to make you feel guilty, but to help you realize that everything is part of a long journey, one without an end, where love and peace are always present. Every challenge, every difficult decision is an opportunity for you to become stronger, to understand more deeply God's love and your true self. The decisions you made are not things that need to be corrected, but milestones, lessons you've learned, and you will feel absolute freedom as you release any guilt or regret. In this space, you will see that true healing comes from accepting yourself, accepting every decision you made in the past. God does not ask you to complete everything the way you imagined, but He loves you because you did your best. He knows that every step you took in life was an essential part of your growth, and He gives you peace when you realize that no mistake is without value. As your soul reflects on the decisions in your life, you will feel forgiveness not only from God, but also from yourself. This forgiveness is not just about letting go of mistakes, but about accepting that you are not perfect, that life is a journey full of challenges and learning opportunities. God does not see you through your mistakes, but through the love you carry in your heart. You will feel His love and forgiveness surrounding you like a warm blanket, soothing every wound and bringing absolute freedom. You will realize that no decision is meaningless. Every decision, even if it seemed like a mistake at the time, has purpose, and all contribute to your spiritual development. Every choice you made has led you here, to this space, where you no longer feel confined or judged. You are embraced and loved for everything you have experienced. God's love is without distinction, without judgment. He sees you only with unconditional love and deep understanding. In this moment, you will understand that death is not an end, but the beginning of a new journey, one where you are completely healed and realize that every decision in life has a profound meaning. The challenges you faced were not meant to make you suffer, but to help you learn and grow. And in God's love, you will feel that all of it is part of this journey, a journey toward inner peace, healing, and eternal fulfillment. 11. Liberation from burdens, forgiveness, and reconciliation. As your soul moves further along this journey, you will reach an important moment, a time when you have the opportunity to truly release the burdens of the past. This is the moment when all negative emotions, anger, resentment, or hatred will be lifted, and you will be embraced by God's unconditional forgiveness. This forgiveness is not only from Him, but also from yourself, as you learn to forgive yourself and those who have hurt you throughout your life. God's unconditional love is not only protection, but also absolute forgiveness. In this peaceful space, you will feel forgiveness not just as an act, but as a profound part of the healing that God brings. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or overlooking the suffering you've endured. Forgiveness is the liberation of the soul from the chains of anger and hurt, allowing you to step into the peaceful space that God has prepared for you. As you reflect on the pain you have endured in life, you will realize that forgiveness is a gift of freedom that you give to yourself. All negative emotions, all soul wounds are not meant to last forever. You don't need to carry these burdens through your life, because in the light of God, you can release everything. Your soul no longer needs to bear old burdens. God has forgiven you, and in His love, you too can forgive yourself. This forgiveness will not come immediately, and you don't need to rush. It is a process, a slow and loving journey, where you gradually understand that nothing from the past can continue to affect you. Past wounds, unspoken words, unhealed relationships, all will be resolved in peace and deep understanding. You will realize that forgiveness is not allowing others to hurt you again, but liberating yourself from the heaviness of the past. When your soul forgives those who have hurt you, you do not do it because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free from all burdens of anger and resentment. Forgiving others is an act of healing, a way to bring peace to yourself. You will understand that when you hold on to anger, you are letting others control your emotions. In this space, you have the freedom and the power to liberate yourself from those negative feelings. This is not an easy forgiveness. The wounds in life can sometimes be too great, and you may feel that you don't have the strength to forgive the wrongs others have done. However, in God's love, you will feel the great strength to do so. God will help you see that forgiveness does not mean agreeing with what has happened, but accepting that the past cannot be changed and that you have the right to choose not to be controlled by it anymore. Your soul will begin to realize that forgiveness is the path to true healing. You will no longer feel trapped in the past. Instead, you will feel liberated, free, and living in the peace that God has given you. The pain, the resentment, the torment in your soul will no longer have a place to exist. You will feel lighter, more peaceful, as negative emotions no longer occupy your mind and soul. This forgiveness is not just for others, but an act of self-liberation. When you forgive those who have hurt you, you not only bring peace to them, but also bring peace to yourself. You no longer need to worry about the past, no longer need to hold on to negative feelings just because you couldn't let go. Forgiveness is the great liberation, where you feel God's everlasting love and peace. In this space, you will realize that forgiveness is a precious gift you give to yourself. All pain is healed. All forgiveness brings serenity and total freedom. You will no longer face feelings of sadness, anger, or regret. Instead, you will enter into an eternal space of peace, where you can live in the love and unconditional affection that God has for you. Forgiveness is the path to reconciliation. Reconciliation is not only about ending conflicts with others, but also about finding harmony within your own soul. You will feel that when you forgive, you are living in inner peace, no longer tormented by old emotions. Let forgiveness be the first step on the path to complete healing, where you will be liberated and live in the peace that God has prepared for you. 12. Embracing eternal peace, merging into the invisible world. As you continue your journey in this space, an incredible sensation will rise within your soul. This is not just a transition, but a rebirth. The love, peace, and harmony in this invisible world are not fleeting moments, but an eternal state that your soul was always prepared to embrace. Everything around you reflects absolute peace, as if every sorrow, every worry of the earthly world has completely vanished. This space is not a foreign place. It is where you have always belonged. This is the place your soul has been preparing to return to, where eternal peace always exists. You will feel that, though no longer in a physical body, you are still living under God's absolute protection. You are surrounded by His unconditional love, endless care, and comfort. All feelings of lack or loneliness cease to exist here. You no longer feel the need to search for anything. In God's presence, you have found everything you need. This peace is not silence or emptiness. It is a vibrant life, a life created by God's love, a life in every breath, in every wave of light, in every sensation you experience. you do not just live in peace, you merge with that peace, allowing it to seep deep into every part of your soul. In this space, peace is not merely an emotional state, it is life itself, an energy you can feel in every cell, every breath. As you merge with this eternal peace, your soul will no longer feel the need to hurry. Time in this invisible space is not like time in the material world. There is no worry about tomorrow, no tug between the past and the future. Everything exists in the present, in an eternal moment where you can live fully. Every moment is filled with love, healing, and profound understanding. God, with His infinite love, has prepared a place for your soul to rest, to live in absolute serenity. He is not only the guide, but also the provider of everything you need to live in this peace. God is the eternal protector, the unconditional love, the light that guides every step of your soul. You no longer feel alone in this space. You feel God's presence in every moment. In every second you live in His love and peace. Entering this invisible world, you will realize that there is no division between souls and God. You are no longer a separate part, but a part of eternal love, a part of the life that God has created. Your soul will feel a deep connection not only with God, but with all other souls around you. Every soul lives in this peace, feeling the love and unconditional embrace of God. This peace is not separation, but a wonderful unity where all souls live in perfect harmony. As your soul embraces this eternal peace, you will experience absolute freedom. You are no longer bound by time or space, nor by negative emotions or worries. All the burdens of life have been lifted. You will feel lighter, more peaceful, as if you have been cleansed of all the dust of the world. In this space, you are simply yourself, not a form or a role you once carried, but a pure, pristine soul filled with peace. This peace does not come from without, but from within you. As your soul merges with this eternal peace, you will realize that you are an inseparable part of it. You are a reflection of God's love and harmony. You do not need to search for peace elsewhere. You are that peace, the vibrant and eternal life of God's love. In this moment, you will understand that peace is not something that can be achieved by doing something, but a natural state of the soul, a part of your essence. This peace is not the absence of pain, nor the absence of challenges, but the understanding that everything is part of God's perfect plan. Every challenge, every difficulty you have faced has a purpose, and in God's peace, you understand that everything is perfectly orchestrated, for He is always there, walking with you every step of the way. This space is one where you live fully in God's love and protection, where your soul no longer feels anxious, about what has passed or what is to come. You live in the present, in the peace of this eternal moment, where all worries cease to exist. God's unconditional love is the ultimate protection, and you live in the love and peace He has prepared for you, unchanged and eternal. 13. Feeling life in death, a new life. As your soul continues its journey through the invisible realm, a profound truth will gradually reveal itself to you. Death is not the end, but the beginning of a new journey, a new life, not in the physical body, but in another form. What you have experienced in earthly life is only a phase in the eternal journey of your soul. And now, as you step into this invisible world, you will feel life more intensely than ever, but no longer limited by the pains, divisions, and constraints of the body. Death is not an end, but a transition from a physical existence to an eternal state of peace and healing. In the moment your soul realizes that life never truly fades, you will feel reborn, expanded, and integrated into eternal life. This life is no longer affected by time or space, no longer plagued by physical pain or worries about the future. You will realize that death is not the permanent end of all things, but a part of the continuum of a never-ending life. God's unconditional love will help you clearly feel that life is always present, even though your physical body has left this world. In this space, you are not just living forever, but living in a magnificent presence, in harmony with everything around you. You live not only through the memories of the past, but through God's presence in every moment, through every breath of love and peace that He brings to you. You will understand that life is not bound by what you have experienced on earth, but true life, where you no longer face pain or separation. This new life is not a mere existence. It is a life full of love, full of connection, and a deep understanding of your true nature. Your soul no longer worries about things left undone or challenges not yet overcome. Everything is connected in absolute perfection, in the love and infinite creativity of God. You will notice that as your soul enters this world, everything becomes clear, everything has purpose, and you no longer feel lost in an undefined world. This new life is the connection with infinite love, the continuation of the eternal journey God has planned for you. In this space, you will feel your rebirth, but not in a physical way. This rebirth is a rebirth in your heart, in your soul. You will not feel like a mere replica of yourself, but as a soul completely renewed, a soul living in absolute peace, with no worries, no fear. You will realize that death has helped you return to your true self, a place where there is no division, no pain, no worries about what has passed. You live in absolute freedom, free from the attachments of the earthly world, free from the negative feelings you have carried throughout your life. This new life is not a meaningless existence, but a life deeply connected to all the souls around you. Everyone, every being in this space lives in love and absolute peace. You will feel a wonderful harmony between you and the other souls, with no distinction, no separation. Every soul is part of a larger whole, where all life is interconnected and loving toward each other. You will no longer feel like a separate individual, but a part of the vast ocean of love and God's creativity. Your soul will clearly realize that life is not a series of sequential events, but an eternal connection with everything around you. You no longer have to search for anything other than love and peace. You live in the absolute present, where the past no longer affects you, where you do not need to worry about the future. Your life is a complete life in God's unconditional love, where you live not to please others or to achieve material accomplishments, but to live in perfect harmony with yourself and with all things. This feeling, this new life, is the life you have always sought throughout your journey. When your soul realizes that you never truly die, you will feel absolute freedom. You are no longer bound by the constraints of the physical body, no longer imprisoned by the negative feelings of earthly life. Your life is one of freedom, peace, love, and endless healing. And in the light of this love, you will find true life, a life that never ends, an eternal life in God's love. 13. Witnessing rebirth, God as the guide. In this invisible realm, as your soul merges with eternal peace, you will begin to feel a miraculous rebirth. This is not a rebirth in the physical body, but a rebirth of the soul, a profound renewal of your essence. All feelings of lack, loneliness, or fear have been released, and your soul now lives in the boundless creativity of God. He is the guide, the one who opens the path for your soul to step into this eternal life. God is not only the creator of life, but the source of all life. In His presence, you no longer feel like a separate being. He is the source of life, the eternal creativity, the light that guides every soul. And you, His soul, are part of the vast ocean of love and life. When you realize that rebirth is not about returning to the body, but living with intense vitality in God's love, you will feel complete liberation. This rebirth in this space is not a temporary change, but a complete transformation. You are no longer a soul carrying guilt, anger, or sorrow. Old wounds have been healed, and you feel this rebirth in every cell of your soul. You are no longer trapped by painful memories or past mistakes. Feelings of lack and helplessness are gone. All that remains is the unconditional love God has for you, His absolute protection, God is not only the one who rebirths you, but also the one who helps you see life through a completely new lens. This rebirth brings your soul freshness, energy, and creativity. Every step you take is no longer hindered by fear or doubt. You understand that whether in the material world or the invisible realm, your life is always protected and guided by God's love. This love has no distinction, no division, but is an unconditional, boundless love, full of absolute peace. This rebirth also brings a feeling of lightness, a feeling of no longer carrying burdens. You will feel complete freedom as you no longer need to worry about the past, no longer feel the need to fix what has been. You understand that everything happens for a reason, and in God's love, you have been forgiven and completely healed. It is in this forgiveness that you realize you don't need to be perfect. You only need to be yourself, the soul that God created, and He loves you unconditionally. Rebirth is not just a feeling of life, but a profound awareness that your soul never truly dies. In God's love, you are part of eternity. Every moment you live in this space is a moment of rebirth, a moment when you are embraced and loved by your Creator. This rebirth is not a strange miracle, but something you have always belonged to, a part of endless life, of the eternal creativity that God has granted you. As your soul realizes that you are living in this rebirth, you will feel a wonderful connection with all the other souls around you. You no longer feel alone in this invisible realm. Every soul you encounter is part of God's boundless creativity, part of the unconditional love He has for all of us. In this space, there is no division, no unfamiliarity, only love, absolute harmony between all souls. God is the guide in this rebirth. Every step your soul takes is directed by Him, and you will feel absolute peace when you realize that, despite the challenges or suffering in the past, all of it is part of your growth, part of the journey He has prepared for you. God is always present, always guiding, and the eternal life you experience in this space is the life He has granted you from the moment you were created. Therefore, rebirth is not just a moment, but a long journey, a journey from loneliness and suffering to healing, peace, and unconditional love. This rebirth is not a return, but a forward movement. Your soul is not only part of the material world, but part of a life that has no end, a life in the love and eternal creativity of God. In this love, your soul will never have to worry or feel lacking, but will only experience absolute fulfillment, where each moment is a rebirth of love and eternal peace. Meditation and faith, the path to eternal peace. As your soul steps into this invisible realm, where time no longer holds meaning and all life blends together in the endless love of God, you will realize a miracle. Death is not an end, but a transition, a doorway opening for you to enter a new journey. This is the path of peace, healing, rebirth, and eternal perfection, where you live in God's unconditional love and His absolute protection. It is in this journey that you will understand that life never ends. It is an ongoing process where each moment is reborn in God's creation. God is the guide in this journey, and He never leaves you. He is always there, in every breath, in every moment you live in His peace and love. Meditation is the means that helps you deeply connect with God's presence, leading you into stillness to feel His love, peace, and eternal creativity. Through meditation, you not only find healing for your soul, but also open a door to receive guidance from God, to better understand your purpose in life and find peace in each moment. Faith in God is the strength that helps you overcome every challenge in life. And as you merge into this space, you will feel that every challenge you faced in the material world was merely part of the spiritual journey you chose. Each challenge has its purpose, helping you grow and become part of the perfection in God's love. You no longer feel anxious about life's challenges because you know that God always guides you, always shelters and protects you. The eternal peace you feel in this space is not silence, but a vibrant life, a life in God's love and creativity. You no longer feel like a separate individual, but a part of a grand whole, where every soul lives in absolute peace, in perfect harmony with one another and with God. You will understand that in God's unconditional love, everything has a purpose, and each soul has an important role in this journey. In this moment, you will clearly realize that life is not a material existence, but the presence of God in every moment. You will feel that God's love is not just an emotion, but an infinite energy, an endless creativity that He has given to all of us. You don't need to worry about the future, because in God's presence, you already have everything you need. All anxiety, all pain, all feelings of lack are gone, because you have found absolute peace in His love. This peace is not something temporary, but an eternal state where you will never have to face challenges or suffering again. The new life you feel in this space is a life without division, without distinction, only harmony and infinite love. You no longer feel the need to prove anything or do anything to be worthy of God's love. You are His child, and in that unconditional love, you have been perfect from the very first moment. When you meditate, you open the door to connect with God, helping your soul find profound peace, not only through prayers, but in every breath, every moment, lived in His presence. Meditation is not just a method for relaxation or stillness, but a way for you to feel God's presence in your everyday life, to experience the boundless love He has for you. Each time you meditate, you grow closer to the love and healing God offers your soul. The most important thing you will feel in this space is absolute freedom. You are no longer bound by feelings of guilt, regret, or fear of the future. You are freed from all worries, and in this freedom, your soul will be reborn, expanded, and live in God's eternal love. You will feel protected, sheltered, loved unconditionally, and embraced in His absolute peace. As your soul continues its journey in this space, you will realize that life is not just about existence, but is an eternal harmony with God and all other souls. You will feel that each moment lived in this peace is a priceless gift, an opportunity for you to express love, forgiveness, and reconciliation. This is the journey to eternal peace that you've always sought, a journey without an end, where you always live in the love and infinite creativity of God, where everything becomes whole and perfect. In God's love, you have been protected, healed, and welcomed into a new world, a world without division, without pain, only absolute harmony and unconditional love. This is the path to eternal peace, where your soul will forever live in God's love and creativity. Thank you for walking with me through the first steps of this miraculous journey. What we have shared today is just the beginning, a glimpse of what may happen on the first day after we leave the physical body. I hope these words have brought you peace and a deeper understanding of your soul's eternal journey. But this journey is not over. There are many more miracles, discoveries yet to be revealed on the second day after we die. Let's continue exploring and discovering what will happen in the next moment of the soul. In the next part, we will continue this journey with deeper insights. See you in part 2 of this series, where we will continue to explore the invisible world and the secrets yet to be revealed.